Hello everyone, Howard here. I'm back with another video. Today I'm very excited to look at a DateJust 41mm. You know, it actually surprised myself a little bit. In the last few years I've done a lot of videos, sure, a lot of sports watches, but I haven't done one DJ. I've done some of the date, one OP I think, a couple of them, but this is the first DateJust, and it's 41mm. You know, late last year I did some 36mm reviews of the OP and date, but DateJust is obviously one of the most popular models. And this 41mm blue one, model number 126334-002. It's bright blue. Because of the interior lighting, it looks a little bit darker on the video. But it's actually a very nice sun ray blue dial. Oh, by the way, I'm actually doing the video in a jeweler watch dealer today, so there may be a little bit background music and noise. So the 41mm, it's a good size. You know, they introduced this watch in 2017, and as of right now, in early 2024, for DJ, there are only, I think, 3 sizes, right? 31, 36, and 41. 5mm in size differences, which is similar to the OP. That's 31, 34, 36, and the 41. If you want a 40, unfortunately, you have to go with DD. They have a 36 and 40mm size, but for DJ, 41mm. At first glance, very impressive, nice watch. 41mm, but it's not super big. I'll show it to you on my wrist a little bit later. It doesn't look big at all on my small to lower end of the mid wrist size. So here's some basic stats. 41mm case size, lug-to-lug. It's about 47.5mm. You know, the beauty of these watches, they're not very thick. It's only 11.6. So even though it's 41mm, it's not gonna look too big on your wrist. And the lug width is pretty standard at 20mm. And again, as I said, this is a bright blue sun ray dial. Very beautiful. It's one of the most popular color along with the mint green and the Wimbledon. And I like this particular one because it has a simple index setup. You know, the indexes plus the date window and the Rolex crown. You know, I'm not a huge fan of numeral numbers or the diamond studs, all that. It's fine, you know, if you like that, it's great. But I just like the simple index design. In addition, you know, next to the index, you can see there's a number 5, 10, 15, 20 instead of a little square dot. I think this adds a little bit more, in my opinion, sportiness to the watch, and I prefer that rather than a dot, square dot in the end. So other than that, no, I think, you know, first thing you notice this watch is the bezel. It's a fluted bezel, and it's a white gold, 18K white gold, and it has the oyster bracelet. Very, very beautiful. I mean, again, you know, the preference, whether it's oyster or jubilee, you know, depending on you, right? If you want a slightly more sporty look, oyster, you know, is the choice. If you want a slightly more, you know, slightly more dressy, then jubilee might be an option. I think a lot of people, when they have the fluted bezel, they can either pick the oyster or jubilee. It's up to you, right? Or if you don't want the white gold bezel, you can go with the smooth, regular non-gold stainless steel bezel as well. So there are a lot of combination options. Again, the design is pretty standard. You know, it's polished case pretty much everywhere. And it works well with the fluted bezel because the fluted bezel, the first look under lighting it's very reflective, right? Plus the polished shoulder, polished case overall, plus the middle link of the oyster bracelet just makes this watch overall, even from distance, looks, you know, shiny, right? This particular one, I think it's from 2020 or 2021. So it's it's not a brand new one, but as you can see, the condition is exceptional. And you got the standard clasp in the back. I think this one has the does it have the easy link, 5mm easy link adjustment. And the bracelet, as you can tell, the side is always sort of a nickel finish and a polish in the middle. Yeah, other than that, you know, the sapphire crystal glass, pretty standard. And the DJ obviously has the Cyclops lens, the signature lens. Very nice and beautiful. And I think blue is always going to be a popular color. You know, other colors, whether it's the lighter, you know, salmon or green or the mint green, I think they come and go depending on the trend. But blue, it's always going to be a classic color. A little bit darker plus the shiny outside. Just in my opinion, it's a beautiful combination. Caliber 32-35, 70-hour power reserve, you know, which is pretty sufficient. And as all these oyster cases, the water resistance is 100 meters or 330 feet. One other thing, as I mentioned in pretty much all my reviews, you know, Rolex watches certainly, you know, it's popular, well made, but it's extremely accurate. You know, watches like these, plus minus 2 seconds after casing, but based on the owner of this watch, it's being more accurate than plus minus. I think he's been wearing this currently for a week, and it's pretty much right on spot, not even losing a couple of seconds. So let me put on my wrist to show you guys how the watch look on my wrist. All right, 41mm DateJust on my 6.5-inch, 16.5 centimeter wrist. I think it fits pretty well. Certainly, you know, it's not super small, as you can see. Again, the bracelet is a little bit loose for my wrist, so you can see there's a little bit of a gap in the end. But if I tighten this up a little bit, look, so if I tighten up a little bit, it looks really good, because one of the reasons here is it's only 11.6 millimeters thick. So if you've been following my channel, you know I can take a little bit larger watches as long as it's not too thick. 11.6 is not thick at all, as you can see. And I'll insert a photo of a shot directly instead of on a video. As you can see, you know, a lot of times people comment, oh, these 41mm, 42mm look way too big on your 16.5 centimeters wrist. It's not quite. You know, if you look at the photos I'm inserting, it looks okay. It looks reasonable. The key is when you're looking at a head-on shot, you can clearly see there additional space between the edge of my skin and the end of the lug. So I think, you know, before I tried this watch, I thought 36 to 38 is my sweet spot. A 41 might be a little big, but I don't feel like, you know, that at all. The other thing is I do want to show you a comparison of this 41mm size versus a 36. You guys might have seen this 36mm in my other videos. So again, like I said earlier, unfortunately for OP or DJ, there's no 38 or 39. You either have to pick the 36 or the 41. I think, you know, if your wrist is my size, either one works. I think 38 again will be ideal, but 36 works. 41, you know, slightly on the larger side also works. But you can tell the 5mm difference is noticeable. I think I forgot to mention the weight. So the weight of this 41mm DJ is 138 grams or 4.89 ounces. This one is, the OP is about 120 grams. So there's only an 18-gram difference. Not a huge difference. But certainly because it's OP, you know, you can notice the shoulder and the bracelets are more nickel finish, unlike the DJ, it's more polished. But here's the difference of two watches in 5mm difference. 36 on the left and 41 on the right. Again, what a beautiful DJ, 41mm bright blue dial, and the reference number is again 126334. Particular model for this blue one is 0002. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.